2,700 videos, 16 years, over 45 million views. And during this time, I never once thought that I want to be a full-time YouTuber. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy FRE, Dollar Shine H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's TheFlyBoyway. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel. Let me start by saying this is not to discourage anybody who wants to be a full-time YouTuber. This is not to change the mind of anybody who's already a full-time YouTuber. This is just to give people my perspective on why in the 16 years, which will be November, I think either November 9th. I think next week or in 2 weeks, it'll be 16 years on YouTube. Why I never decided that full-time YouTube was for me. Now, it's not about the numbers. I was going to do a G Talk about this, but I felt that it was a lot easier to do it from the office, to be able to show you guys numbers and stuff to back it up, because a lot of people, they want to see the receipts. They don't want to do the research if you don't have it right there. So I felt as though, because I could share the screen here, let's do it here. I had video coming up, but I completely forgot. I didn't completely forget. I just tried to squeeze it in right before the video because this was something that was on my mind. It may not be on my mind tomorrow. Why I, in the 16 years have been on YouTube, knew and never decided to be a full-time YouTuber. I think first let me describe what a full-time YouTuber is in my eyes. A full-time YouTuber is someone who depends on YouTube as a first level of income, as well as someone who does YouTube more than any other career they have. So if you're like part-time at, let's say, like a post office, you work 4 hours, but you're on YouTube 10 hours a day and you make the most income from YouTube, I would consider that a full-time YouTuber. So that I just wanted to say that reference so that you guys have an idea of what I mean by I would never become a full-time YouTuber, and why in the last 16 years I decided never to become a full-time YouTuber. I think when you create a life that you want, you need to create a life that works for you. So if you want, for example, I wanted to have kids. I wanted to be able to know the feeling to have children, but I didn't want to be selfish and say, and not be able to give my children more than I was given when I was being raised. And I know this is all jammed up, but I haven't worn a shirt in a while. And so I said, in order to do that, I need to build a career where I can not only do that, but then still create the content I want, still live the life that I want, still be able to travel how I want, and still be able to own the things that can produce me passive income like I want. Because at the end of the day, I want a high percentage chance of being able to leave my children with more than what I have. YouTube has been around since about 2005. I've been on YouTube since 2009. YouTube, from what I understand, has only been monetizable for the majority of people. Of course, select people was monetizable a while, but for, if I could say, since 2013, I think maybe 2013 is when YouTube became really monetizable, where you can go and get monetized like that. Maybe even 2015. So let's just give or take and say people have been able to monetize on YouTube, meaning make money off of their content, get brand endorsements for, let's say, about 10 years. What I began to learn as I built my career was that if you want to be able to, shout out to my A1 Day 1 Kings and Dreams in the room, shout out to Own the Travels in the room. If you want to build a empire, or if you want to build passive income for if you want to have children, if you want to see the world, it is important that you have something that you can show, let's say a bank or a credit union, in order to get the financing to either start a business or to buy real estate or even to stack money to put in the stock market. Now, while there are some YouTubers and YouTube content creators who make a significant amount of money, that doesn't fit for the majority. And when I say majority of people, to this day in 2025, only 10% of only 10% of people on YouTube have over 1,000 subscribers, which means that outside of brand deals, only 10% of creators on YouTube are monetized or able to make money. I'd say about something like 70 to 80% of people with careers can get a bank loan. With careers with no debt can get a bank loan or get financing or get a business loan. And again, when I look at what came with being a full-time YouTuber and the dedication that you would really need to be a full-time YouTuber, it didn't make sense to me. And in the 16 years that I've been on YouTube, it still doesn't make sense to me on a majority basis. Yes, I do believe that some people can achieve that, but for how long? There's been plenty of YouTube content creators who have been high level creators pushing videos out along a lot of time, making 10, 20, maybe even $30,000 a month. For those that don't know, the way the United States, and for those that don't know, the ones making that much are getting most of their money from the United States. Because if you don't know YouTube, you might not know behind the scenes. United States has the highest return on the highest CT, I forgot the name of it, cost per click, basically. So basically, if you have and this is somebody that's been on YouTube 16 years, if you have supporters or fans or people from the United States watching your videos, no, if you have 100 of them, it will get paid more than if you have 1,000 people in Africa watching your video, or in different parts of Africa, or 1,000 people in Brazil, or 1,000 people in Colombia. Now, it may not get paid more than if you have 1,000 people in, I believe, like Sweden, but United States is in one of the top, I think, 5 or 6 levels of people who watch. So I say that to say the majority of full-time creators have to have a United States audience. And to have a United States audience, you would have to pay United States taxes. I bring that to say the people who are making 30, 20, $10,000 a month, for those that don't know, because a lot of stuff people just go for because they don't really know behind the scenes. And I felt as though I had a little time to have this conversation to put it out there, because I realized I never did this on my channel. While as much videos as I post, 2,700 videos, as much as I travel, as much as different content I post, a lot of people was getting confused to think I was a full-time YouTuber, and I'm not. I am not. YouTube is not the first, second, or third form of my income. It's like the fourth, but it's consistent. I'll tell you guys, as a matter of fact, I'll show you guys what I averagely make. And I averagely make between $300 and $600 a month. Sometimes it goes higher. Let me share the screen real quick, y'all. Again, this is going to be a short. I'm gonna be by 6:55. We're gonna have to end this because I don't want to be talking while the other video comes on. But it's just going to be a conversation. You guys feel free to ask questions about things behind the scenes that you might not know. But I felt as though this video needed to be on my channel because I think going forward, there's a lot of people who are going to mess up what they truly want in life by taking a sabbatical, a long break, or just stopping working in an environment where the economy may never be the same as it was in the last 10 years to become a full-time YouTuber. And I'm not just trying to discourage you. I just want to give you the insights of someone who has been on YouTube for 16 years, someone who has a million view long form video, almost 30 million views short, and a lot of million views videos in between, a lot of million views shorts in between, and a lot of payments in between. So I'm giving this information from someone who's actually boots on the ground, what they would say. Shout out to Sinalo. That's why people need to keep working hard while they do YouTube. I agree. And again, if I see your comments, I'll get to your comments as we do this, because again, this is going to be a shorter live than I normally do. But I think it was a live that at this moment needed to be necessary because of the changes that are happening in the economies around the world, and the hopium that's flowing through the air. Again, this is not to discourage anybody from being a. This hat just don't want to stay in my head. It's not to discourage anybody from being a full-time YouTuber. It's not to discourage anybody from following your dreams. I think you should follow your dreams at all costs. However, it is important during times like this to understand that if you want to follow your dreams, sometimes you have to put your dreams not on the back burner, but you have to have a stable income and a stable home and a stable lifestyle in order to follow your dreams fully without ending up in a predicament where you can't get back, or it's very difficult for you to get back and you end up like a lot of other people. So again, I was going to show you guys some statistics because I know numbers do matter. Numbers matter a lot. So, and you guys always know, for anybody that has ever seen my channel, I've always been one. I'm not going to say the most, but I'm going to say one of the most transparent people when it comes to figures and numbers and everything like that, because of the fact that with transparency comes relation, and people can be relatable when you're transparent. So let's share the screen with my analytics, and I can give you guys a walkthrough of some of the things that I've learned in the 16 years of being on YouTube and why I did never or not to be a full-time YouTuber. Now, when I do retire in 9 years, when I do retire in 9 years, I do plan on continuing YouTube, but I probably still wouldn't be considered a full-time YouTuber in the sense of income, because my income will still be, the highest form of my income will still be coming from the investment properties I made during the course of the 16 years when I was on YouTube, by working my job that I had consistently, by putting money away in my 401k, by taking the money out, by then reinvesting the money in real estate, and then doing the BRRRR method: buy, rent, repair, and refinance, and do it again. And also by house hacking, quote unquote house hacking, living in one unit and renting the other unit. So just to give people a quick summary, I wanted to give you a quick summary of how I was able to do what I do. Just so that I wasn't just born rich. I wasn't just born with the knowledge. I wasn't just given the silver spoon. This is a choice that I made, and I feel as though this choice made it available for me to be able to reach the levels I have on YouTube. So guys, this is how YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube channel, this is how YouTube Studio is set up right here. It's set up where you got your dashboard, your content, your analytics, your community tab, and it gives you a brief analysis of all the things that that you've been doing. Now, I am also now a part of, shout out to Anna Carroll. I'm also a part. I've been for the last year, almost 2 years. I've been a part of the YouTube Partner Program, or not YouTube, the YouTube Creator Program, where I get a lot of insights before you guys get them, and I also get a lot of assistance if I want to ask, as far as meeting up with other creators. I've met creators who have 20, 30, 40 million views. I mean, with subscribers who get 20, 30, $40,000 a month, and we've sat and talked. And you know, this is all I'm giving you guys, all the details that I have from the stuff behind the scenes, from my actual boots on the ground knowledge, and this is something here. So we're gonna go straight to analytics so I can give you guys an easy estimate of my last month. Now, this is just the last 28 days of what I made. Now, typically, again, I tell you, if you guys want to know what someone who's on YouTube, been on YouTube 16 years, I've been monetized since I think I've been monetized since 2019. And since 2019, I had some big spikes a couple times. But I've made between $300 and $1,000 every month since then. Now I know a lot of people say, oh, that's not the 20,000, that's not the 30,000 people make, but it's consistent and it allows me to make money during my regular career as far and as well as investing because I'm not a full-time YouTuber. And that is what's going to allow me to retire. Well, I could have retired already, but because my son is still in school, my daughter graduated, I decided I want to show them that you could work 25 years and then retire just in case you're not an entrepreneur. That's the only reason why I'm still working. And because my son is still in school and it doesn't make sense for me to stop working because I won't be able to go live in Colombia. I won't be able to go visit Brazil for a couple months. I won't be able to go visit Thailand because I feel as though I want to give my children, and I gave my daughters already. I'm still giving it to her while she's going to cosmetology school. I want to give my children the opportunity to be raised with their father. This is something that not every, and it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it's not a right thing, it's not a wrong thing. I don't want anybody to take offense, but this is something that not everybody has the same ideals on. Like for me, I don't feel as though you need to be in a relationship and in a house with your child, but I do feel as though you need to be in your child's life at least once or at least twice a month for the weekend or something to see him, because I think that has a bigger impact than just sending them money. Just my opinion. So for those reasons, another reason why I couldn't, and I decided not to be, or I could have. I decided not to go full-time YouTube because it is important if you want to build the life that you want, to not have to always focus on making money, what you would have to do as a full-time YouTuber. All right, so here we go. Last month, my channel got 150,000 views. My average watch time was watch time hours was 6.7 hours. I got 379 subscribers and I made $525. Just in the last 48 hours, got 8,000 views. This is what I consider from compound interest. Now I know compound interest is usually a financial term that people go for, but I'm going to apply it to videos. You have some creators who feel as though they should only make what they consider the best videos for maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, maybe only twice a week. And I think that's good. It's a good strategy as well. But what I feel as though is a better strategy is, for me at least, is telling my story and just letting the videos flourish. So you'll see in the last month, this was October, right? It's not even last month, just in October, I've posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 videos, and 1, 2, like 3 shorts. All as a person who's not a full-time YouTuber. All as a person who's not full-time YouTuber. And here's where I go back into compound. Here's why I go back into compound interest when it comes to creating YouTube videos for those that don't know. All right, so look, as you can see, a lot of the videos, compound interest for those that don't know, is when you create when you build money and you let your money make money and your money make money. For example, if I put $100 in a let's just say a CD in the bank and it grows 4%, and I never touch that $100, well then it'll be $104 by the end of the year. Or if I have $100,000, it'll be $104,000 by the end of the year. If I never touch that, the 104 might turn into 208,000 or something like it compound like that. Well, that's the same way I consider doing videos. The way I consider doing videos is through compound interest. So rather than trying to get that one video like the Black Man's Guide, because I could make a Black Man's Guide every month, let it go all the way up in views, and then make another one and let it go all the way up in views. Or I could just use my life and create all videos and compound. So this video is from September, still getting paid. This video is from June. This short is from June. I can't even point to it without short. This short is from June 12th, 2023, and it's still producing income. Again, producing income. This one is from February 16th, 2023, still producing income. updated one. This one not producing income, but this one producing income, this one producing income, this one's producing income. So in the interest of compounding, each rather than building that one video, the smaller videos just keep building and building. Let me show you the revenue. Let me share the revenue with you guys. And again, we'll only be here 25 more minutes because I don't want to interrupt the video I got posted. So just to give you guys a insight of how much I've been earning to back it up. Now I said 300 because there has been certain months where I don't know, not really a lot, but let me see. I can see more. There has been certain months where I made 300 somewhere. Right. See, like right here, I made 300 in December. That's right before I went to Ghana. But as you can see, this is just the last, I think, 12 months. No, not even 12 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 12. Last 12 months, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So basically 13 months. All right. So last 12 months. So in the last 12 months, I made $5,885 as a person who's not a full-time YouTuber. So not only did I make that much money, but then I was able to have a full-time job where I worked. I was able to invest in my properties and garner income and be able to manage them without having to hire a property manager because I wasn't a full-time thing. So this is what I'm saying, where I say a lot of people when they decide to be a full-time YouTuber, I don't believe that they really think through the next 20 years because YouTube has only been monetizable for the last 10 years. So again, this is why in the last 16 years I've been on YouTube, I've never decided to go full-time. Not to say that I couldn't. Again, let me see. As you guys might know, if you watch the channel, one of my million view video, The Black Man's Guide to Cartagena, was taken down, but I still do have the videos that that show that I had that video up. And if you want to see that, just send me a message. I'll send you the link for the video. But in the meantime, we'll just go to dashboard again. We'll go to analytics. We'll go to content. My fault. We'll go to content, and we'll just show you the videos by shoot, monetization. I didn't know you could do that. No, my fault. Not monetization. You can't even show revenue. I wish I could show you the videos by revenue. The most I could do, I guess, is views. Nah, most popular. I probably got to go to my channel to do that. Give me a second, y'all. I'll fix it right here. But again, to be able to, there you go, videos popular. Now, of course, he's in the membership. You guys know because the Black Man's Guy that had 1 million views, getting taken down. But as you can see, this video right here, that's not in membership. The snacks video, 247,000 views. That means this video and this video have more. Then the if I go to shorts, most popular, almost 30 million views, 3.6 million views, 2.9 million views, 1.2 million views, 100,000 views. Again, y'all, this is all without being a full-time YouTuber. And I stress the fact that as a full-time YouTuber, it will be difficult for you to get the financing you will need if you want to build a passive income portfolio for the majority of people. That's not even to say the majority. 90% of people who are full-time YouTubers will have a very difficult time getting the finance they need to be able to build a portfolio where their money can make money for them when they don't work anymore. And again, what is the average YouTube career like? Maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, average of being able to monetize at that high amount. But when that monetization stops, here's another thing. Oh, I got some time. Here's another thing a lot of people don't think of. A lot of people don't think of, if I decide to become a full-time YouTuber and I made money for 5 years and then the money stops. If I want to go back to work in the United States, the #1 economy in the world as of 2025, I'm going to have a 5-year gap that employers are going to look at and say, wait a minute, why am I going to hire somebody who has not been working for the last 5 years. You can tell them you've been on YouTube and doing all that. They're not going to see that. They're going to say, why am I going to hire somebody who's not been working for the last 5 years over somebody who has had a job last month or whose company may have laid off their employees and they're a hardworking employee? I think there are a lot of things people don't consider before they decide to go and be a full-time YouTuber. And I was watching Charlie Munger earlier. For those that don't know, Charlie Munger is one of the wealthiest people in the world, one of the best investors in the world, and currently I believe he's 99 years old. Charlie Munger, I'm just saying it and not exactly what he said, but I'm giving a summary of what he said. Charlie Munger basically said that emotion is the thing that makes people go from wealthy to poor. And emotion is the reason why most poor people never get wealthy. The reason is because if you emotionally attach yourself to chasing the fame of being a YouTuber, or you emotionally attach yourself of chasing the money that can possibly 10% come with being a YouTuber, and you don't think things through, that one step can cause you never to be able to get to that to level where you need to be. And if you want to be able to retire early like myself, or you want to be able to provide for a family if you have kids, if you want to be able to help your family if they need some help sometimes, then it's going to be important that you have something that's consistent versus something that's temporary that will take away from your opportunity of getting something that is consistent in the future. Again, I've been on YouTube 16 years. This is not to turn anybody off from being a full-time YouTuber. This is not to tell anybody as a full-time YouTuber you should go back to work. This is not that. What this is giving people the knowledge that they may need or may not know, so that you can accept accountability with the consequences that may come from you attempting to be a full-time YouTuber and not consistently working and not consistently building income and not planning for the future. Yes, I feel as though maybe you can take 1, 2, 3 years off and get to the bag. After that, it's kind of tough. But then it depends how old you are. Because if I'm 30, if I'm 40, and I take that time off, now I'm biting into my retirement or my availability to retire. Now I have to take this time off away from my kids. Now I have to take this time off from being able to build generational wealth, or not having to worry about having to work for somebody at 65, at 67, at 69, at 70, at 58, because that opportunity might not be around. I go every day. I go to every day, but whenever I when I work at, I go to Walmart to deliver packages, or I go to Costco to deliver packages, or I go to where did I go today? To Foreman Mills to go pick some stuff up for my clothes for my son. I see somebody who's like 65 still working. I see somebody who's like 67 still working. And I'm looking like, damn, I wonder if they ever had somebody to tell them this is most likely the outcome you're going to get if you focus on things that are only temporary. Again, you've only been able to YouTube or monetize for 10 years. So there's nobody that has been on YouTube making money for 20 years, which is the average career, 20 years. And most people who are making a high income, which is only like 10%, because remember, only 10% of YouTube content creators are monetized. 90% of channels aren't. That of that 10%, maybe 2%, maybe 1% has been able to make money consistently over 2 years, over 5 years. When I say make money, I mean 40,000, 60,000, 80,000 a month, 30,000, 20,000, 10,000 a month. And all this comes into my head when I say, I would never be a full-time YouTuber. YouTube would never, and again, for those that don't know, when I say, I'll get to your comments, but when I say full-time YouTuber, I mean YouTube being the main income in my life, or YouTube being the thing I do the most. I know y'all got, again, you guys see all the videos I post. I post a lot of videos, 2,700 videos. I don't know, maybe Mr. Beast. Let's check Mr. Beast. Shout out to Mr. Beast. Let's see if Mr. Beast has more. Mr. Beast might have more videos. Oh, Mr. Beast has, let me see. This is on his channel. He has 913 videos on this channel. And remember, Mr. Beast doesn't edit all his content himself. He doesn't produce all his content himself. Shout out to Mr. Beast, shout out to Team Water, but he doesn't. Let's go for another YouTuber that's been around pretty long. PewDiePie. PewDiePie has 4.6 million videos. Now, this is a lot. That's a lot. A lot of them being live videos where he just talks. But he has 4.6 million videos, and he's been on since 2010. There's not. Let's go to another one just in case. Just so you guys can see the average of it. Give me another one that's been along for long. I think Corey Kenshin has a lot of videos also. A lot of them being video games, so it's a little bit different. He has 1.7. How long has Corey been on for? Corey's been on also since 2009 also. And he has 1.7. There isn't going to be many, if any, really, content creators with this many videos, and I'm still not full-time. And I would never be full-time. Let me get to your comments for a little bit because we got about 19 minutes left, and I want to make sure I appreciate you guys for participating. Let me see. Kings of Dream says you need multiple streams of income. That is a fact. That is a fact that you need multiple streams of income. Let me end this. Let me end this. All right. So the homie A1 Day One Kings of Dream said you need multiple streams of income. That's a big fact. And not only do you need multiple streams of income, a lot of people they don't put as much weight in consistent income as possible. Check this out. There was a saying that said somebody can go and create a business and make more in a year than somebody who can who has a regular job who only makes a certain amount consistently. But what most even finance experts miss when it comes to having a consistent job is your ability to get financing. If you want financing if you want to build a business, build a real estate empire, invest in things, you're going to have 2 years, at least 2 years on a career that shows you getting the same income. Because again, for me, I own real estate. Even with my real estate that I've owned since 2017, it is 2025 now. Real estate I've owned since 2018, this one, it is 2025 now. They only take like 70 to 65% of the rental income as going towards for you getting financing. So even at me having rental income, that is an issue. YouTube is even a bigger issue because it's not guaranteed consistent. There's no contract saying that because you made $5 million this year, you're going to make $5 million next year. If you made $5 million for a couple years in a row, they'll give you some credit, but it's no certain contract from YouTube or from online content to say, yo, Mr. Banker, I want to buy this multifamily that can make me $1 million a month, and I got all this money. But I make all this money from YouTube. And the banker goes, yeah, but this is only 1 year. This is only 2 years. We'll take 10% of it. And now you can't do it. Versus somebody who might only make $40,000 a year. And they'll go, oh, but you've had this job for 6 years. And you've consistently made $40,000 for 6 years. So there's a chance that you'll make $40,000 next year, or $50,000 next year, or $60,000 next year, or each year increases. So we'll give you this $500,000 loan for you to go buy a property that can then in turn make you $7,000 a month. So yes, it's important that you have multiple streams of income. But again, being a full-time YouTuber, that income is looked at differently when it comes to financial institutions. Again, I showed you guys I get paid. I showed you guys I make money. That money is looked at differently. Your PR, yeah, I know. Kings and Dreams. That's why I was going to do a Jeep talk with this, so I could do it real quick. But I wanted to be able to show imagery, and I wanted it to be sharp so people can do it. So I just did it here. Sinlow, nah, son, he passed away this year. Charlie Munger passed away this year. I thought Warren Buffett passed away this year. Damn, that's crazy. I thought Warren Buffett. Let me see, yo. Maybe I'm wrong. How is Warren Buffett alive? Okay. All right, so now I was listening to Charlie Munger. You're right. Charlie Munger passed away this year. Warren Buffett is still alive. I was listening to Charlie Munger though when I was going when this like let me see which I'm gonna try to show. I'll try to post the link in the chat because I think it's a real good video to watch that I watched. Hold on, it was a real good video. It's called Charlie Munger says 7 mind tricks billionaires won't tell you. That was one I watched. And the one I watched fully was called Charlie Munger, How to Never Lose Money, the most important let me see.
I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Yeah.
The first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. Okay. And the fastest way to interrupt compounding is to lose money. It sounds obvious, too obvious, like telling someone not to stick their hand in a fire. But the world is full of people with burned hands. I've been investing for more than half a century. I've seen markets rise, collapse, recover, and collapse again. I've seen geniuses go broke and ordinary people get rich. And if I had to boil it down to one idea, it's this. The people who survive are the ones who avoid stupidity better than they chase brilliance. Let me give you an example. In the 1930s, I was in Omaha.
So again, this is called Charlie Munger, How to Never Lose. It's on the Wise Investors channel. It's called Charlie Munger, How to Never Lose Money, the most important. Again, y'all, while I don't believe in living the lifestyle of these wealthy billionaires and millionaires, I feel as though life is meant to be lived, and I do feel as though sometimes you do have to delay gratification to get certain things. But I think that a lot of these wealthy investors delay gratification so long to get money that money becomes the objective of life. And for me, as you can see on my channel, enjoying life is going to always be my objective. Not getting money. My children are going to be okay. I don't need to make my children the most wealthiest keeping. I just need to give my children more than I was given and show them a way to really enjoy life. So again, I'm not saying it's stupid to become a YouTube content creator full time. I'm just saying in the grand aspect of things, if you're trying to live a life to your fullest, becoming a YouTube content creator full time is not wise. It's not stupid. It's just not wise. It's now that just because, like, for example, if you're an expat and you're full time, well, you do YouTube, but you work still, like you work remotely, that's not a full time YouTuber. That's not a full time YouTuber. A full time YouTuber, again, by my definition, is someone whose main source of income is YouTube. If you work remotely and your remote job is YouTube, you're a full-time YouTuber. If you work more on YouTube significantly than you do even remotely, like if you only work remotely like 3 hours a day, but you work on YouTube 10 hours a day and you post videos every day and you do that, that's a full-time YouTuber. So, I just want to give people that sense. So I appreciate that, Salim, for him passing away. Let me know he passed away. Shout out to Show Enough in the building. What's good? He says, I agree with everything you say, though. Oh, man, listen. Again, I know there's going to be a lot of people that's like, no, I can still do full-time YouTube. I just wanted to be somebody that gave you my opinion after being on YouTube 16 years. And just in case those that didn't think I've been on YouTube 16 years, let me just, I always feel as though you need receipts because it's going to be a time when people don't believe anything people say because a lot of people lie. Fallacies. But again, here you go. It's my channel right here. You'll see that I've been on YouTube since November 5th, 2009. So we're almost at November 5th now. I have 106,000 subscribers. I have 2,723 videos, and I have over 47 million views. Over 47 million views. Million. Again, y'all, I say that not to brag. I say that to give a reference of where I come from when I'm speaking on this topic. Let's go to see what else in the room. Shout out to Free Society in the building, Brick City in the building. Yes. DZ, what up? Shout out to Where's Milano, another content creator. this is definitely good topic. You know, just something I could have did it on the Money Talk Mondays. We got about 5 minutes left, but I just felt as though I wanted to get off my chest. Monday, I might have something else to talk about. The Flyboy Way, you are correct, because nobody talks about the guys who pursue their dreams and fail. Appreciate that, Terrence Hill. Great talk. Again, we got 5 minutes left, so we got to speed it up a little bit. I think we pretty much at the end got our conversation off. There's nothing wrong with failing, as long as you get up and do it again. Get up and try again, or get up or you've learned something from your failure. The issue with failing, though, is that when you invest too much or so much in achieving something, and it covers your lifespan for so long, when you fail, it may be difficult to get back up. For example, if I am 18 years old and I'm trying to be a full-time YouTuber, if by 25 I realize I failed, I can't do it, I can go out and get a career. I can go out and get an education. I can go out and do something that can succeed and really help me still live the life I want, retire early, have children, be able to give them something more than I had, be able to travel the world, if I want to go a monger, be able to go out and monger. If I want to go visit the world in Japan or Antarctica or Hispola or anywhere, or Haiti or anywhere in the world, I can still do that. But if I'm 35 and I use 10 years to try to be a full-time YouTuber, and then at 45, YouTube or something does something where I can't make that money anymore, and now I'm a 45-year-old man, I can't make the $30,000 a month anymore I can make. Maybe my channel got demonetized. Maybe the advertisers stopped paying out, and now I'm stuck trying to get back to the career. At 45, I'm working for the rest of my life. I'm in Walmart, still working at 67. I'm in McDonald's, still working at 58. I'm in Costco's, still working at 72. That is a risk that a lot of people don't account for when they decide, I want to be a full-time YouTuber. And I think that's just something that I wanted to, as somebody who's been on YouTube for so long, something I wanted to get across to the people, because I think it's very important that somebody talks about it. Not to blow my own whistle, pause, but I feel like I'm just becoming this person who's talking about the stuff that people don't want to talk about, and there's nothing wrong with it. I wish more people would talk about it, because it can't just be me, or it won't reach the masses. It can't just be me talking about these subjects, because it can't be the masses. It's easy to fool people to believe. It's easy to fool people to believing that everything is amazing with a lot of full-time YouTubers. But the people who really make money, the people who really understand the behind the scenes with YouTube and how the numbers work, and the people who are willing to, like in the chat right now, who are willing to watch somebody who's willing to show you the statistics behind the thing, show you that, oh, I made 150,000 views. 150,000 views is $500. So you can imagine, if you're 150,000 views times 2, that's 300. So let's say I get 1 million views. 1 million views may be like, well, it depends. 1 million views in one video may be like $7,000. Depending on your niche, it could be like $7,000. But 1 million views across your channel over time may be like $6,000 a month. How long do you think $6,000 a month is going to last? And when it ends, how are you going to be able to move from that? Again, it's just the way I don't know. Maybe as a business mindset, I just think this way. But I feel like a lot of people, and I don't blame them. I don't blame any. See, I don't want you guys to think it's a blame thing. I don't blame anyone who needs to maybe not lie, but needs to show people a lifestyle or or preach or give this impression of a great lifestyle as a full-time YouTuber. I don't blame anyone, because that's what they chose their career. And I don't think you should blame anyone either. I think if anyone's at blame, it would be the people watching this person that's a full-time, watching these people that are full-time YouTubers who are not doing the research to say, hey, how long this person been making money? How long this person been doing YouTube? He's never showed us, or she's never showed us their statistics. She's never showed us how much money they make, and then we can see if we can survive off of that money. Or they've never shown how many views they really get, or how many monetized views they get. I think, again, back to what Charlie Munger said, y'all, emotion and stupidity is what can make rich people poor, and what keeps poor people rich. I mean, we'll stop poor people from ever getting rich. And I think it is stupidity. What falls in stupidity is believing a YouTube content creator is a full-time YouTuber on a lifestyle when they don't show you the back schematics. If the YouTube full, and we got 2 minutes left. If the full-time YouTube content creator that you watch, that you're inspired to be a full-time, doesn't matter if it's a girl, guy, or anything in between. If the full-time YouTube content creator that you watch never on the course of their channel has said, yo, I'm going to go here to my thing, and I'm going to show you my analytics in YouTube Studio, and I'm going to show you how much money I make, and we're going to discuss how I use this money to create the lifestyle I want. How I use this money to create the lifestyle I want. If you have a YouTube content creator that's a full-time YouTuber that's never done this, and you follow him, or you follow her, or you follow them, I don't know what pronoun I need to use, then the only one that should be held accountable and blamed is you. Because as Charlie Munger said, stupidity is what keeps poor people from getting rich, and what makes rich people poor. I appreciate you guys for joining this short live. Again, I got a video coming up from my trip to Puerto Rico. Go watch the videos from Atlanta. They was crazy. Again, it's your boy. Wait a second. Let me do this right. Let me do this right. It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why. Just check out the channel. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.